shows the scoreboard underneath.
Nothing. Talk other stupid things.
You know their building site's name?
Salman has got it, I think.
Name, but who is who?
Umpire playing 11. They're not doing like this like we used to, man.
What happened? So you need to know the names. Who? What's the name? Who's
We
the
got
bowler?
walkie-talkie with the umpire.
Oh, that's good.
This is the Halim bhai, this is the channel to the umpire. Scorer to umpire. Oh, Chicago Lions playing 11 is up. No, not playing 11. It is 16 squad. Bowler name umpire. Didn't get the name umpire. Rizwan. Thank you. Just split a little bit forward. Okay, is Babwa and Taylor? Once again, a very warm welcome from Lincoln Park here in Milwaukee. And we're in for the second game of the day. The top of the table clash between Chicago Lions and Atlanta Fire. You got star-studded lineup of Atlanta Fire. The opening pair of Steven Taylor, the national skipper of USA, and Shazam Babwa have made it to the middle as Rizwan starts off with a wide. Both of these opening batsmen with pedigree and very, very formidable players around the circuit in USA. Taylor, as I mentioned, is the skipper of the national team as he thumps this one, but it will pull up very short in the outfield because it's very heavy. This is the first game of these two teams on the main field. They got to adjust very, very quickly. We've seen teams in the league stages yesterday and today that they found a method very, very quickly how to score their runs by running hard between the wickets. There's not many chances of boundaries in certain parts of the ground, especially from the commentary box end where Rizwan is bowling. Any straight hit along the ground is not going to carry. As Babwa gets a toe end of the bat, this is running down. Taylor is running very gingerly. That's sloppy running because it's going down the hill and it was easy too. We've seen the teams who adjust very, very quickly have been very successful. And all these little runs at the end does add up because it's not a high scoring ground. The totals haven't been in excess of 135. That's the maximum that was scored in this ground since yesterday. But both of them are very, very experienced campaigners. As Taylor gets right behind that one. Atlanta Fire, 3 for no wicket. Running hard is key to good scores here in this ground because with this artificial turf, there's plenty of extra bounce as well. not easy to get away the length balls as it climbs on the batsman. Another leave from Taylor. Rizwan corrected his lines very quickly after the first wide ball. As we watch a couple of sweepers as we're in the power play. First over, one is backward square leg on the fence. As this Taylor has lifted that, it won't go to the fence, or will it? It's rolling down and stopped inside. Couple more runs to Taylor. He's moved to 5. So we've been saying the batsmen won't get full value for strokes in this ground with a heavy outfield. So they've got to make up for that with some urgent piece of running between the wickets. This is in the air. Fielders back paddling. They won't get there, and it won't go to the fence either. The slight misfield. That's sloppy work, but 4 runs to Taylor, and he get his boundary count going. So he didn't quite time that, but went off the top edge. The first over is gone. 9 for no wicket. Atlanta Fire. After the first over, it's 9 for no wicket. No working. This is the park mic. It was working in the morning here. That is. Somebody was walking here. Abdul Islam. Abdul Salam. Abdul Salam to take up the attack from the far end. Slip and a short third man. It's in no man's land actually. He's in 30-yard ring. I think he is. It's Babwa looking to dab it through the onside. Babwa is another big name in the US circuit. He's played plenty of first-class cricket in the Caribbean. He's also a regular feature at the US Open, part of the winning sides quite often. This time swing and a miss, went too early. The ball never arrived. Abdul Salam is running up the hill to bowl to Babwa. Babwa is off the toe end of the bat, hasn't got it. Fielder's coming around, but it's away from him. And a couple more runs, living dangerously, Shazam Babwa. Atlanta Fire into the double figures, 11. Straight boundaries are the short ones, and we've seen plenty of big hits along that side, especially the one at the far end as a slow delivery. Almost defeated Babwa. Just checked the stroke at the very last minute. Another dot. Babwa looking for one and gets it. 12 for no wicket into the second over. Babwa is batting on 4. Taylor's got 7. Field changes around for left-handed Taylor. Deep square leg is going back. So is the long on fielder. One slip catching. Short third man. There's no fielder behind square on the onside at all. There's huge acres of space behind square. as Taylor lets it go outside the off stump, which ends the second over. 12 for no wicket after 2. Atlanta Fire 12 for no wicket after 2 overs. Agora said it's his first ever game of cricket. Agora. He's second over already asleep. The best thing is when he wakes up, the game will still be going. So he can enjoy after he wakes up. Rizwan to continue. We have a sprinkling of spectators around this Lincoln Park. It's quite cloudy. Not warm at all now. It was quite hot. As we watch Bob flays this through the offside. Will it go to the fence? Just about does, and the fielder very sportingly signals the 4. Oh, I thought he made a signal, but he just said it wasn't a boundary. So in that case, you have to say another sluggish piece of running from both the batters, because I know you're used to hitting such good shots and not worry about running, but not on this field. It's totally different. Taylor looking for one, direct hit, but Taylor was back in time. Good bit of fielding at backward point. The two Atlanta Fire opening batsmen needs to judge the conditions quickly, because they're losing out on valuable runs here by not pushing for the extra run on the arm on long boundaries, because as I said, batsmen won't get full value for their strokes with this outfield. But this time Babua flays it around. Once again it will pull up short. It's not going to cross the fence. And another 2. So that's 16 now for no wicket. We're in the third over. The reason I'm saying this about the running between the wicket, we've been watching since yesterday, and we noted that the one team that adjusted very, very quickly, and they were the ones who made life very easy for themselves, chasing 135 as an outside edge. Big shout. The Chicago Lions are celebrating, but the umpire isn't moving at all. And they're all still waiting and appealing to square leg umpire. He's got nothing to do with this. This is not his decision. And the wicket keeper making a big fuss about it. But this is not something that we haven't seen. The umpire is in the best possible position to make the decision, and once the decision is made, there's no point for all the teams to congregate and make a point about it. Just accept the decision and get along with the game. Up and over once again. This is not going to go to the fence. Or has it? It has. And strong blow from Babwa. 4 runs. This is his first boundary. The score moves to 20 now. Good start from Atlanta Fire. Both of them are very powerful hitters of the ball. Atlanta Fire openers, Stephen Taylor and Babwa. Babwa survived a scare for this big shout, but you know, all the fielding side was appealing was on the noise, which could be bat hitting the ground or bat hitting the pad. As this one's another powerful blow, it's in the air. Fielder was placed there, and that's a big wicket. Shazam Babwa falling into the trap. The field was set, and the bowler executed the plans. First wicket is down for Atlanta Fire. 20 for 1, and we're into the third over. We know there's a new batsman in. The batsman never crossed. Good breakthrough for the Chicago Lions. Rizwan, who felt hard done by earlier in the over, has finally got Babwa, a player of Babwa's experience. He fell into the trap, so good bit of captaincy from Chicago Lions skipper Rizwan, and he was the bowler, so he executed the plans quite well. Left-handed Taylor is on strike. Short and pulled. Fielders coming in, but a couple of bounces. Just a single to Taylor. 21 Atlanta Fire. One ball shy of the third over. Vinod is on strike, the new man in. Vinod is also a very capable batsman. Very stylish. Looking for tip and a run. We've seen these kind of runs taken before as the ball pulls up short of the fielder. And fielder has to cover extra ground, but Taylor wasn't game for it. A slip and a short third man. Onto the onside. This time Taylor responds well as Vinod got off the mark. 22 now for one wicket. We're into the fourth over. Twenty-three for one, Atlanta Fire. Strong blow in the air, just over the head now on the second attempt, and Taylor perishes. That's another huge blow, and Atlanta Fire has lost yet another wicket. The star man, Stephen Taylor, holding out at mid-off. 23 for 1, for 23 for 2 into the fourth over now, and Chicago Lions are celebrating as Taylor walks back.
It's good.
23 for 2. How much you got?
Yeah, I got 22. Something I'm missing. Let's see if that is true. Oh, I see. I see.
Is Ridwan now?
No, 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 no. Jane.
2 wickets down inside the first 4 overs. 23 for 2. Atlanta Fire in a bit of a strife. Two top batsmen, Babwa and Taylor, back in the hutch. Another dot. Zain is his new batsman in. Yes, sir. Helped it on its way out. Stretch hand of the fielder. He was trying, but chasing the ball hard. Good bit of fielding. See, the third runs was a possibility on the arm, but not to be. The Atlanta Fire batsmen, they give up pretty early when it comes to running between the wicket. So the fourth over is gone. 25 for 2 after 4. 25 for 2 after 4. 25 for 2 after 4 overs.
Those are very small.
Yeah, we don't need table. Rizwan into his third over. Who's on strike? Winod with a powerful blow. Just a single. 26 for 2 now. Zan is back on strike for the first time from this pavilion end. He's looking for a leg stump guard from the umpire.
Uh, hey, what you call it? Jondon was asking if you could announce like which over we're on when you announce the score.
I can't announce between the overs like you can't play between the overs. You can't play between
No,
the
like
music.
no, no. I'm saying like when the over is done, like when you.
This is what I've been saying. I don't know if you miss it or whatever. I call overs, runs, and wickets.
Okay, but are you announcing what over they're gonna start?
No, I announced how many overs are gone.
Okay.
This is how that's the terminology works like. 25 for 7 after 2 overs or after 10 overs or after 12 overs. This
Okay.
is my line is.
Okay.
See, it takes only 5 seconds, so if you're not concentrating, probably you don't hear, and then you say that it hasn't been announced.
Sure. Sure.
So
No problem.
I've got
I
this.
was
Yeah.
just being the messenger.
No, 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 no. But this thing is, it wasn't working in the first couple of overs. It is now.
Oh, it is?
So
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, you just gotta hold it down for a second for it to be on, and then you gotta hold it down again to turn it back
yeah.
off. So,
Okay.
and then it should.
And I have to describe ball by ball here to
Binod,
people
run, man.
watching.
Okay.
So I'll do it, buddy.
All
Don't
right.
worry.
No problem. Yeah, I was just delivering a message. So, thank you. This is a lazy running. He does too. Jane
They lost
upside
so
down. And
they lost so many runs, and the way. Good job,
no,
buddy.
that's the West Indian style of batting, but not their style. Why they did?
Second
They
camera.
end up crying at the end.
First camera should drop.
That's what they did in that match. Where that game became close only because of that. They did not. Babua, Taylor, don't want to run single. See, they are playing on the yeah. Why? They cannot play in the ground.
This is not. On to the next one. I can't be doing this and talking to people. They don't even.
Start here.
Good, powerful shot from Zain this time. Dug in short by Rizwan, and Zain was ready for it. Very powerful hit through the onside. Much needed boundary for Atlanta Fire. They're playing for the first time on the main field, and it's slightly different to your normal cricketing field where you hit good shots for boundaries, but here the rolling shots, the boundaries are hard to come by because of this heavy outfield. So Zain and Vinod have got a job on their hands. He's still in the first power play. 32 for 2. Chicago Lions have done well so far. Another good shot and good running. That's the type of urgency that's needed. Overthrow nearly cleaned Vinod. He just saw that just in time. So 5 overs gone, 33 for 2. 33 for 2 in 5 overs.
NCL is proud, proudly thanking sponsors Bombay Sweets, Northwestern Mutual, Cafe India, Landmark Restaurant, India Bazaar, Ross Bazaar, Best Foods, and American Pleasant Group. Thank you.
Abdul Salam continuing. So both the opening bowlers are bowling through the power play, the first power play. Zain is on strike as he works this onto the onside and runs immediately. Well played on that occasion and good running. Any score between 120 and 140 is been proved quite good if the bowling and fielding is in order. So it's not a high scoring ground and it's very hard to judge sometimes when you're batting first that what's a good total. But having seen few games here since yesterday, we figured out that batting generally is not very easy as the batsmen won't get a value for their strokes. This one is in the air, past the bowler, down the hill. That's the side of the ground where it has a chance to run into the fence, and it does. Strong blow from Vinod, and score moves to 38 now for 2. Vinod is batting on 8. Zain has got 9. Slow delivery, loopy full toss. Missed out on that, looking to hit it too hard. Vinod lost his shape. Another slow delivery, outside edge, and fingers gone up. Vinod was deceived. He's really disappointed. A soft dismissal in the end. So the wickets are tumbling for Atlanta Fire inside the power play. They've lost the third wicket, 38 for 2. 38 for 3 in the sixth over. 38 for 3. You have to give credit to the Chicago Lions bowlers. They bowled with discipline and very good line and length. Not many freebies. 3 wickets is the just reward for their discipline. And in the commentary box, we got a very, very experienced Atlanta Fire manager, Mr. Halim Ahmed, with us. And he's seen it all before, done it all himself in good old days. Used to be the manager of the Bangladesh national cricket team back in the day. It's words of wisdom, and it means a lot because, as I said, he's seen it all and done it all. So we have the pleasure of his company in the commentary box for this game. He's the Atlanta Fire manager and a very, very keen observer as well. As we watch once again another good delivery on the money. Abdul Salam has got 2 wickets, the all important wicket of Taylor, and then Vinod. As we watch Antoine, he's another very destructive batsman, very, very good wicket keeper as well. He has a job on his hand to rescue that innings for Atlanta Fire as he went for the big one all along the ground past the fielder and down the hill chase once again, but once again sluggish running. That went all the way to the fence, and the batsman with no urgency just jogged for the 2 runs, and that's all they're going to get. So at the end of the first power play, it's 40 for 3 Atlanta Fire. Atlanta Fire 40 for 3 after 6 overs. Is Rizwan going to finish off his bowling spell here? It looks like it. 4 overs on the trot. We hardly ever see this. On strike is Antoine. Oh, no, is it Zan? Zan is on strike. Still bowling with the slip. Rizwan outside of the power play. He doesn't need to have any catchers by restriction. So into the deep, looking for 2, but calls very early. Says no, so just a single. 41 for 3. Antoine is on strike for the first time from this end against Rizwan. The sweepers are on the onside, long on, deep fine leg and deep square leg. We got a deep extra cover, 2/3 of the way to the boundary. Antoine, as I said, is very powerful hitter. We've seen him in the past hitting some big hits and plenty of runs. This one is over the top. Will clear the head of the mid-off fielder, but won't go into the fence. 2 more runs. Antoine is on 4 now and 43 for 3 now. Atlanta Fire. Big shot from the keeper, very ambitious. No one else in the entire field even raised their hands in appeal but the wicket keeper, and he's still very surprised. I think he's surprised at himself that whatever he thought of it wasn't the case. Just once again, very peculiar field. We got a short mid-off, just as he's been just moved to his right, and the long off pretty much in straight line before. Antoine off the edge. This will run down the hill, but won't make it to the fence, I think. Yeah, pulls up very short. Good running from Vinod. That's superb running. That's the type of urgency that Atlanta Fire has been missing on, and he's looking for the overthrow. Superb bit of running from Zan, and that's the type of running. They've run all four now. That's one way of making the scoreboard move under these conditions on this outfield. And for the first time in the seventh over, the Atlanta Fire batsmen realized that that's one way of getting the score moving quicker. And credit has to be given to Zan, who initiated that, pushed Antoine for the third run, and as a result, the overthrow came along as well. Excellent cricket from Zan. Rizwan, who's bowled a very good spell, bowling through his spell into his fourth over. Two deliveries to go. Beat the outside edge once again. Hands on his head. He was unlucky there. Could easily have took the outside edge of Antoine's bat. I keep saying Rizwan has bowled through, but he went for 33 runs. So bulk of the scoring has been done off his bowling, although he took the important wicket of Babwa. In the air over the infield, but short of the sweeper. Just a one run, slight fumble, but they weren't looking for two this time, as the seventh over ends on 48 for 3, Atlanta Fire. 48 for 3, Atlanta Fire. 7 overs bowled.
NCL is proud to thank the sponsors Bombay Sweets, Northwestern Mutual, Cafe India, ML Restaurant, India Bazaar, Rasa Bazaar, Flex Foods, and American Desi Group. Thank you.
It's National Cricket League. We are well into our league stages, which will finish after this game, and we'll have the semi-final lineup ready for tomorrow. Just to update you on this group that we're playing, both these teams have already qualified for the semi-finals, and it's this game, the result of this game will decide that which team will finish the top of the group, and they will have to play the team that would finish runner-up in the other group in the first semi-final, and vice versa. So there's a lot at stake in this game. As in the other group, there's a three-way tie, I think, between Florida Sunrisers and the the Michigan team, and also the Wisconsin. So it's quite an intriguing situation at the moment, but this group has panned out quite nicely, as this game will decide the winner of the group and the runner-up as well. So, as I said, a lot at stake, and it looks like a very competitive game so far. The disciplined bowling of Chicago Lions have put brakes on Atlanta Fire's batsmen, who are looking to break free. As we're just about to start the eighth over. Rizwan has bowled out his 4 overs. He went for 34 of his 4 overs and took the wicket of Babwa. Antoine is getting ready to face. Sorry, what was the name of the bowler? Owais is the new bowler from the far end. As this one is short and helped along the way, and it will run into the fence as well, just on the right of our commentary box. So Zain has helped himself to a boundary. Pretty loose delivery to start off from Owais, but Antoine is not complaining. Run scoring has been hard, but the last couple of overs have started to yield some runs for Atlanta Fire. Antoine has come out in a belligerent mood. That's how he plays. As Owais has lost his run. Dead ball from the umpire. Atlanta Fire's 50 has come up on the first delivery of the 8th over. So as another strong blow, this time couple of bounces over the fence. Antoine looking in dangerous mood. Once again, another powerful blow. He's a strong man. He's putting some muscle into his strokes. Back-to-back boundaries for him. As a result of that stroke, a deep extra cover has been placed. Got deep backward square leg and deep square leg are the two sweepers, along with the deep mid wicket. There's no one on mid on or long on. Another shot. This time he's bludgeoned it. That's gone outside the stadium and over the road. This has been the biggest six of the tournament. I can safely say that. Just got underneath that, Antoine, and really give it a massive crack. And the sound was absolutely amazing off Antoine's bat. So 2 4s followed by a sixer. And there's a mini conference already with Chicago Lions seeing the danger coming from Antoine. He's quickly moved to 23 of just 10 deliveries. That was really a massive blow from him. The umpire is having a look at the ball, but as it scraped along the road, just running towards our right, outside the Lincoln Park. Owais in for some fire, but intelligent batting from Antoine. He's collected his runs for the over and just dabs as the fielder was sitting on his heels. So one more run to the total, 63 now. It's been a big over this one for the Atlanta Fires. Got, what, 14, 15 runs already of this over. Still a couple of deliveries to go. Zan is on strike. He's the one who started the urgency, but he hasn't seen very little of strikes since Antoine has come to bat. Short delivery. This time it's Zan who joins in the fun. And has that carried all the way? Yes, it has. Down to the left, over the deep square leg fence. Another meaty blow from Zan this time. And the big over continues. Already 21 runs of this over. And Atlanta Fire's inning is back on track, thanks to some belligerent hitting by Zan and Antoine. West will be very glad to see the back of this over has been taken to cleaners by both the Atlanta Fire batsmen, As this time Zan's turn, who just works the ball quietly onto the onside for another run. So it's what 70 for 3 after 8 overs. 70 for 3 after 8 overs. Who's the bowler? Who is the bowler? Mansoor. Mansoor is the new bowler after Rizwan has finished his spell. He seems an experienced campaigner, Mansoor. He'll be bowling to Zan, who's batting on 17. Zan has got a deep mid wicket for him. That's the, it's the only deep fielder on the onside, along with the long on. So they got sweepers on long off and deep extra cover. As Mansoor is getting ready, taking plenty of time to think about what he's going to do. He's just about ready now. As Zan walking into the stroke. Good delivery by Mansoor, wide outside the off stump, making Zan to reach out for that. The Chicago Lions, they've also won their 2 games, so they're on a high. So is Atlanta Fire, who won a pretty one-sided affair on the first day, beating the Penn State Capital, actually dismissing them for just 30. As we watch another elegant drive from Zan, pulls up pretty quickly in the grass, just a 1 run to the total. But Atlanta Fire had a scare earlier on today. They were defending 154. They were needing to restrict the opposition, the Wisconsin Warriors, to 12 in the last over with 2 wickets in hand, which they did very ably. So that means that by virtue of these 2 wins, they've qualified already, as I've told you earlier. So both the teams on a winning run, but their winning run for one of them will have to come to an end today, but they will have another chance tomorrow in the semifinals. It's a slow delivery from a slow medium pacer, Mansoor, but well disguised, and Antoine, who was looking to heave that ball somewhere into the town, misses it completely. The deep fielders are right on the edge of the boundary. All 4 of them that I can see, the long on, long off, mid wicket, and deep square leg. As Antoine has been cleaned up this time, a quicker delivery from Mansoor, and Antoine, who was looking for another big heave on the onside. I think it ricocheted off his pads onto his stumps as well. But the bright and breezy knock of Antoine has come to an end. He made 25, and Atlanta Fire are now 71 for 4.
NCL is proud to thank the sponsors Bombay Sweets, Northwestern Mutual, Cafe India, Animal Restaurant, India Bazaar, Raja Bazaar, Best Foods, and American Desi. Thank you.
71 for 4. Atlanta Fire lost a very, very important wicket of Antoine in this over from Mansoor. He was cleaned up, clean bowled. So that was a big blow as Zan and Antoine was looking to propel the scoring. We're only into the ninth over, so plenty of time still to go. As we watch Mansoor once again to the new batsman. Was looking for a tip and a run on the offside, but says no. Zain, who now has gone on to have a word with Ahsan. Mansoor has a very rhythmic action, not very pacey, but very accurate. And as I said, very experienced. He knows what he's doing. An excellent over from Mansoor. 71 for 4 after 9 overs, Atlanta Fire. After 9 overs, 71 for 4. You go to Gora and sell him, like you come to cricket ground, bring a cold beer, you sip and watch because it lasts long time. So you enjoy the beer and enjoy cricket. Change the bowler. Adnan, is it Adnan? I didn't hear. Bowler? Roger Rabi. Raja is the new bowler from the far end. Right arm medium. Zan is facing him now. Ahsan yet to get off the mark. He's faced two deliveries. Zan is batting on 11, on 18, I beg your pardon. And is looking for a big hoik on the onside. Given out like before. That was an ugly looking shot, and Zan realized it very quickly. And the umpire thought about it and raised his finger. Zan would be disappointed. He's given away a start. He was looking good, but the wickets are tumbling. And Atlanta Fire losing wickets at regular interval as Zan is dismissed for 18. And half the side is back in the hutch now, 71 for 5.
Happy Sweets, University for Cafe India, Animal Restaurant, India Bazaar, Raj Bazaar. Best food in American dancing room. Thank you.
Who's the batsman?
Koi, koi, koi.
71 for 5 as Coy has made his way to the middle. Another very capable batsman. But the Atlanta Fire is in trouble right now. Half the side is gone, and we haven't reached the halfway stage of the innings just yet. 9.1 overs gone. Raja Ravi breaking through in his very first over. Looking to run the ball down. Good call from the non-striker Ehsan, who responded very quickly. So just run to the total. 72 now. Bit of a rebuilding is needed, I think, for the Atlanta Fire in the face of some very disciplined, not too flashy bowling from Chicago Lions, but they've just got the job done. They have provided with very little freebies to the Atlanta Fire batters, and the run making has been difficult, but 5 wickets lost. Still, Atlanta Fire have got some decent batsmen to go. Off the edge and a misfield. Looking to run for two, Hassan, and he makes it very comfortably. So two to the total, 74 now for 5 wickets. And Raja has been very impressive in his first over, bowling a good line, good length. As I said, not too flashy, not trying to do too many things. Just get the ball there and thereabouts. And that has been the key for Chicago Lions bowling effort this afternoon here at the Lincoln Park. We have to wait for the umpire signals on that occasion. And that's a wide. So as I was praising the Chicago Lions disciplined bowling, here comes the mistake. It's a commentator's curse, as they say. Coy back on strike. Chicago Lions have got a slip in place. This one's in the air, but off the edge and flies over the third man and into the fence. Much needed boundary once again, this time off the bat of Coy. Width was on offer from Raja and made full use of it. He didn't quite go where he intended to, but the result is the same nonetheless. So a good over for Atlanta Fire despite the loss of the wicket. They have achieved 8 runs already in the over after the wicket on the very first delivery. Still one ball to go. As this one's thumped straight again to mid on. Direct hit would be close. He would have been gone if it hit direct, but it missed the stumps. Good bit of fielding from the man at long on. He really hurried Ahsan, who was lucky, I have to say, on that occasion. End result is a single to the total, and we're one ball shy of the halfway stage of this innings in terms of overs, as Atlanta Fires have moved on to 82 now. The run rate is not too bad, but they have lost too many wickets, one too many for my liking. But credit has to be given to the Chicago Lions. Slow delivery, dipping, almost Yorker length as the over ends 82 for 5 after 10 overs. 82 for 5 after 10 overs.
You can't ignore the fact, rain. You make me feel alive.
No, that's fine. When you come to a cricket game, you need a big beer because it lasts a long time. You can just enjoy more. It's the traditional thing. 82 for 5. Atlanta Fire at the halfway stage. Coy is batting on 4. Aston is batting on 7. Atlanta Fire does need a partnership. They would ideally want this pair to go at least to the 15th over, get them above the 100-run mark with 5 or 6 overs to go. But loss of wicket here could hurt them seriously, because as we get into the lower order batsmen, sometimes they're at their best when they have fewer deliveries and they know one thing, because normally they know only one way to bat. So that would be an ideal situation. But with so many deliveries to go, you don't want your lower order batsmen to be in the middle. As Mansoor once again, this time short, hurried on to Hassan, I think. He was looking for the pull shot. Just got him on a bit too quick and it finished up at extra cover. Coy seems pretty quick between the wickets. So does Hassan. That should bode well for the Atlanta Fire, because as we've seen, most of the runs have come via quick running, as it's very hard to hit boundary fours. And few people are blessed to hit big sixes like Antoine did earlier, as once again Coy dabs it into the offside, jogs a single. Good batting, good calling, excellent cricket from Atlanta Fire. As I said, the run rate is very, very acceptable for the amount of totals we've seen on this ground. It's just the wickets. And Chicago Lions, as we watch Mansoor hits Coy on the pad. Beg your pardon, it's Aston. As I was saying, Chicago Lions may fall into the trap of a false perceptions that they're on top and they can allow all these easy singles. But I can tell you that would add up, and when it comes to chasing, it won't be easy at all. As it's been dabbed once again very delicately by Hassan. It goes down the hill, travels a bit further than other parts of the ground. Couple runs for Hassan. He's moved to 80. He's moved to 12 now, and the total's 86 for 5. 5 runs off the over so far from Mansoor. Went for the wide Yorker, and it is wide, misdirected. The keeper's missed it as well, and it's running down the hill. Still won't reach the fence, but the running has been excellent on that occasion. They've run 3 runs, a wide signal, so 4 will be added to the total. All these little mistakes will add up for the Chicago Lions. As we've seen, run making is not very easy. And with the top class bowling lineup of Atlanta Fire, Chicago Lions may think that they're, as I said, on top, but they still need to keep taking wickets to be in the game. Once again, Coy looking for that single, playing with soft hands. This time, good fielding. The short cover moved in very quickly and prevented the run. So it's 90 for 5, 9 of this over, 11 overs gone. Ninety for 5, 11 overs gone. It's Raja Ravi once again from the top end. Still bowling with a slip. Good looking cover drive through the gap. Excellent shot from Hassan. That will earn him a couple of runs. 92 for 5. Aston moves to 12 now. Went for the full Yorker this time, Raja Ravi, but Aston was good enough. Thumped it straight down the ground for another run. Since these two have combined, the scoreboard is ticking along very nicely. No big sixes, but the running has been good, and the urgency is quite good as well. A flashing blade this time, no sweepers there. Will it carry to the fence? Yes, it does. Over the boundary. So now the boundary. This time it's Coy giving it a fair thump through the offside. And 4 more runs to the total. This is a good little partnership developing between the two. As the total is propelled to 97 now for 5. Coy is very short in stature, but he's got very quick hands. The bat speed was magnificent on that occasion, as width was on offer from Raja. This time it's short, another thump. This won't go to the fence. It's just stopped inside. But the running is good. I think they're going to get the third run on the arm as well. So good cricket from Coy. He's really motored along this innings as the 100 has been brought up by Atlanta Fire in the 12th over. 100 for 5. No, I fooled him. Started playing music. Once again, a slow delivery, but the length was very good as well on that occasion. Dipped on Essen. He couldn't do much about it. The run rate, as I've been saying, is excellent from Atlanta Fire. Into the 12th over and already scored the 100 runs, which is a big psychological boost. As I've been saying, the games here haven't been very high scoring. So 100 would represent a very good total at this stage. Chicago Lions got to keep coming up with wickets as Raja tries once again. Soft hands from Essen. Good placement. He's turned the wrist at the very last time and let the ball run off the face. So that's 12 gone, 101 for 5. 101 for 5 after 12. Coy is batting on 9. Essen is batting on 14. As Mansoor is getting ready for his third over. Chicago Lions in need of wickets, but this partnership is only a small little partnership, but very quickly they're looking to turn the game around in the favor of Atlanta Fire. Full pitch delivery. Once again, a solid thump down the ground. Coy looking for 2. I think that's the kind of running they need. The urgency. The ball once again pulled up pretty short of the fielder who was just waiting on his heels because it was quite a fierce thump. But he had to run about 20 yards to get to the ball as the ball had stopped in the grass. I think now the Atlanta Fire batsmen are getting hang of the conditions as the next one is played with soft hands again by Coy. Once again he was looking for a run, but on that occasion Aston sent him back. A little chat between the two batsmen and how to go about things. Coy using his wrist, placing the ball away from the fielder. There would be some overthrows as the backup fielders let the ball go through his legs. So that what pressure does. And you have to give credit to Coy and Aston for putting a lot of pressure on the fielders and making them make mistakes, which will all add up, I'm sure, at the end of these games as the margins are so small. 3 runs were the end result of this delivery, where there should never have been 1 run, but thanks to the positive intent from both the batsmen. Mansoor with the slower deliveries. Aston was looking to hoik it on the onside. Got his. Oh, this is another urgent run. This time it was a bit silly, but the wicketkeeper got himself in a tangle. He was in no position to receive that throw, and Aston capitalized on that. So, 2 more runs to the total. They're running the Chicago Lions fielders ragged now, who were very disciplined earlier on. The bowling was disciplined. The fielders backed them up. But cricket is a funny game. That's what pressure does to you. As this time Mansoor strays on his line again, lets his disciplines go. Wide ball signaled by the umpire. And another run as well as the batsman crossed over. So 2 runs were the total. Another very, very expensive over this one. We got 7 runs of the over already. Had a neat clip off his pads by Coy and running quick. 2 more runs and Mansoor is now, after a very impressive start, he's now gone for 18 runs for 1 wicket, where his first 2 overs literally went for very little. Still 1 ball to go. Is it probably 2 more balls to go in this over as swing and a miss from Coy. Over has been called, so 13 gone, and it's 109 for 5.
Yeah, 111. Mr. Coy on this one, Mansoor had got 2 runs.
They're catching up though. 111 for 5. 111. They're catching up. They missed deliveries.
Wide was 2 runs.
Yeah, and before the overthrow was 3 runs. They missed that too. That's why they're going back and forth. You can see they had 1 ball and then
When you say
huh?
7 runs on that over, I already
It
had
was
8.
8. Yeah, you were right, but I was guessing sometimes.
They mess up on the batsman too.
Yeah,
Batsman scores.
they don't know what happened on the 5th and 6th ball.
They mess up on the
How much
batsman.
on the 5th ball?
Fifth ball was 2 runs for a wide, then 2 runs, then a dot ball.
They're missing 3 runs. If they can come here, they can catch up.
If they catch up with this, how much they are there?
They have not yet. They're showing 109. That overthrow 2 runs they missed, I think. They still. This was the 3rd ball, right? When they
No, that's the
overthrow.
over the overthrow.
That's what they're missing. They're putting as a single.
111. Why they miss it? They must have two runs. There are 111 is the total.
Just tell him the third ball of the over.
On the third ball of the previous over, there was 3 runs. Then 2 wides. 2 wides. They missed up 2 wides.
Another wide.
Another wide.
Yeah.
Raja.
Raja starts off with a wide with his fresh over. So the score moves to 112. Slow delivery from Raja. This time in the arc for as Coy has really turned quickly. Went for the throw. Direct had hit would have had him, but that's the kind of pressure he's putting the fielders under and earned his team another overthrow. So that's 3 runs of this delivery. Once again, Coy is making the move. He's putting the fielders under pressure. I mean, if you get run out of a 60-yard or 60-meter throw direct hit, you just can't blame yourself for that. But that's the kind of chances that Coyer's taking, and he's coming up trumps on each occasion. Zan earlier and Coy and Essen has really been the ones who've shown everyone else in the top order that they've read the conditions better than most and making full use of the slow outfield for the lack of boundaries, as this one's once again pushed down onto the onside. As 3 Chicago fielders were chasing that delivery, so 1 more run added. Essen moves to 18 and Coy is batting on 17. An excellent partnership between these two, and the running between the wicket has been most impressive. Once again, a firm blow. Coy is once again charging down, looking for 2, but the fielding was good on that occasion. He read the plot, attacked the ball quite quickly. Just the 1 run. Still another very good over. Once again, it's already been 6 runs off the over of the first 3 deliveries. 117 now. Another firm blow. This time Essen is running hard, but the fielder, as I said, that's good cricket from Chicago Lions. They've realized what the batsmen are trying to do, and they've come up a step ahead. It's a very good contest right here. This game has been quite good from the beginning. Chicago Lions took some early wickets and kept the stranglehold on the batting order of Atlanta Fire, but Atlanta Fire, as they say, have responded. And now Chicago Lions have realized what they're up to, so they're trying to match them. This time it's in the gap, and Coy is quite quick. This time it should be an easy 2, and he makes it very, very comfortably. Good running once again, good cricket, and the score moves to 119 now. It's 120, I think. We're 1 run behind once again from the digital scoreboard. So, and I think we still got 1 delivery left in this over.
Again 1 run behind.
Hold on. They're trying to catch up on the digital scoring. They got it now. So 120 with 1 delivery to go. A slog sweep of a medium pacer. as the sweeper mid wicket tried to stop it with his foot and was able to stop it. 2 runs, and as I said, 11 runs of the 14th over. Once again, a very good one for the Atlanta Fire. 122 for 5 after 14 overs. 122 for 5. 14 overs gone. The score now looking quite good for Atlanta Fire. Still 6 overs to go. Essen is batting on 23. Coy is batting on 18.
NCL is proud to proud for their sponsors, Sweets Motors Mutual, Cafe India, Anmol Restaurant, India Bazaar, Raja Bazaar, S Foods, American Pastry. Thank you for all their support.
Okay. Atlanta Fire looking good at this stage after a slight wobble at the beginning. It's a big test for the Chicago Lions now to see how they respond in the final 6 overs to keep Atlanta Fire's total to reasonable limits where they're confident enough to chase that and get that coveted top spot in this group. It's top of the table clash here at Lincoln Park. Fast hands once again from Coy and running very fast as well. Forced another fumble from the fielder. That's excellent cricket from Atlanta Fire. And Coy has provided that urgency that was missing in the early part of the innings. Batting on 2. West is the bowler. Off the edge, this time is running down the hill. The chase is on, but the fielder won't be able to get there. So another boundary for Coy. He really threw the kitchen sink at that with an offer from Avas, who had a very expensive first over. Hasn't begun his second over any differently to that. He will be under severe pressure. Coy quickly moves to 24, overtaking Assen. They both played 16 and 17 deliveries respectively. 128 for 5 Atlanta Fire as West runs up to the wicket and lost his run up. Umpire signals a dead ball. Full toss. Coy is once again looking for 2. See, this ball pulled up again. The fielder was coming in, but pulled up about 10 yards short of him even. But on that occasion, Coy and Aston decided they didn't want the second run as the substitute is running onto the pitch in the middle of the over. Already 1.5 hours since we started this game, and only 15 overs have been bowled. An hour and 20 minutes, Halim, do you make it? 14 and a half hours, 14 and a half overs in an hour and 20 minutes is simply not good enough. I know most of them are amateur cricketers, but you can't have the flow of the game broken like this time and again, given that it's hot and it's humid, but it's still not a good effort on the part of the teams. This is another thing we've noticed throughout the tournament, that the games are taking too long. There has been so many unnecessary breaks in play. And going forward, with a packed schedule like we have here this weekend, teams could do better with quickening things up a little bit and keep everything to a limit. As West runs in, this time it's short. Essen has hit it strong shot. That was a terrific blow from Hassan. He really got hold of that. I mean, it sped over this very slow outfield with two sweepers there, giving them absolutely no chance. Fantastic batting from Hassan. 133 for 5, and Avas has gone for what? 33 runs already. After going for 21 in the first over, he's already been taken for 12 in 4 deliveries. He went for the Yorker. Turns out to be a low full toss. Sweeper in the deep cover is a long, long way out. So easy couple of runs on that occasion. This has been a very, very impressive partnership, and they came together at a stage where game was hanging in the balance. Another swing and a miss. A big shot once again, only from the keeper mainly. But the umpire says nothing doing. So 135 for 5 after 15 overs, scoring at exactly 9 runs per over. 135 for 5 after 15 overs.
The two were boys playing, and these could have been one or two match. The fielder even did not took any effort. And this is Mr. Mansoor who bowled all these good overs. No effort from him to stop that ball. 30, not 30 runs. They did not misfield that much. Some overthrows. Some, no, 2, 3 batsmen missed 20, 30 runs too. And they missed, say, around 15. Yes.
First 7, 8 overs, they missed the runs, but this batting pair and Zan before, they ran very fast. And then they get overthrows in
Because when you
advantage
run
because
fast, that's what happens.
when
When you
Sweeper
run,
realize something, he go boom like this and it goes
or
anywhere.
they do to grab ball fumble, gone. So give another extra run. So that's the good things for when you run fast in between the wickets. Fielders have a chance because they are a pressure. I
And
got
now
to grab
they're
the ball throw.
tired as well. After all this running around, they're tired now. This one, like he said, this one was not a big gap, but
Easy get. It would have not been very easy.
Hassan Ali? Hassan? Ali, he said something Ali.
Let's go with Ali.
After a mini drinks break, we're ready again. As I said, 15 overs have been bowled within almost an hour and 27 minutes. All it took as the substitute has run onto the field once again with more drinks. And now the Atlanta Fire batsman, he wants gloves now when everybody's ready. He should have asked for it before. I think also the umpires have to keep an eye on the substitute running in and should stop them in their tracks as we watch another substitute running in. This is Mitu from Atlanta Fire. This could go on forever. Well, amidst all that, Ali, who's been ready for a while, is find something wrong with the field this time when the batsman's ready. That's bizarre. Are we ready? Finally. This one is thumped straight down the ground by Coy. Just a single run. Ali at the top of his mark. SNS placed this once again very nicely, looking for two, but that ball pulled up pretty quickly, giving the chance to the keeper to go and fetch it. Just the one run. Quicker delivery, slight fumble, and another run to the total. Chicago Lions. The wheel seems to be coming off. The total is getting bigger and bigger. The highest score we saw in this field yesterday was 135 by the Florida Sunrisers, who chased down that target in 15 overs was set by their opponents. So Atlanta Fire has got above the par as this one has been hit into the ground and bouncing high. Before that ball came down, the batsman had enough time for a single. Coy is on strike. Went for the big hit, and it will clear the long on fence. A magnificent strike. Coy might be a small man, but he does pack a punch. And this is his first maximum. Excellent batting from this partnership as the, the total's getting bigger and bigger. Some worried faces around in the Chicago Lions fielders and the skipper. So I think this over from Ali has come to an end. I think it's one more delivery to come. Quicker delivery from Ali. Yorker length. Wicketkeeper got hold of it. I think that's the end of the 16th over. And at the end of that, the total is 145 with still 4 overs to go. 145 for 5. 16 overs gone. How many to go?
How many to go? They are playing T20.
It's 6 o'clock already, man. No, 5 o'clock.
You is like me, Atlanta time.
6 o'clock.
I know Atlanta time. This one.
No, this is our time here. But is it same?
No, no, this
Let me
Atlanta
check.
time 6.
No, it shows 5.
Oh, it shows 5, then it's correct.
Yeah, yeah.
But you
I
say
just
6.
said 6.
Yeah, that's why it's Atlanta. I did not
Atlanta is
change my
6.
time. I just changed back to keep it to Atlanta time.
That's first, right?
Yes. So when
I just announced, right?
16 over.
They are not in this world.
You are not 16 over. End of
Yeah.
16.
So he's still asking. I was telling him when we used to play club cricket, we play 50 overs. I used to always count the overs. I don't need someone to tell me how many overs to
It's
go.
wide and off. I'm sorry.
A direct hit. Umpires shaking his head. SN, as we've noted, is quite quick. Terrific effort from the keeper. He scored a direct hit from almost 50 yards out. So 3 runs to the total because it was a wide. And The score is now 148.
Who is the bowler?
I'm sure it's not Aves.
Who is the bowler?
Bowler?
Raja Ravi, that's all.
Chicago Lions in the field, looking a bit ragged, a bit disinterested. Things have slowed down so much, and now they're adding to their own woes by taking so long, because it does take a toll on you staying for out there for that long. They could have been out by now if they had finished their overs, but as it happens, they still got 4 overs to go, and now the wides have started to come in, extra deliveries, extra effort, as Asan was looking for a big heave, and another good call from Koi this time. I think he's getting a bit tired. It's not easy for him. It's very humid, and they've run fantastically. They're 1 over, exactly 1 over behind. They've lost the previous over, I think. Big blow and holds the pose. Koi, as I said, little man, but smashes it straight into the side screen. And a big heave. Wonderful hit from Koi. This 150 has been brought up with this blow for Atlanta Fire. And they're really on fire at the moment, especially the pair of Ahsan and Koi. They're showing 136 for 5 and 15.1. Why don't they want to come here? This one, a slow delivery, it's in the air. Keeper's coming underneath it, and he's took a good catch under pressure. And a big wicket here because Koi was really looking to go after the bowling, having run the Chicago Lions ragged in the field. He was looking to capitalize, but he's walking back after a fantastic knock and a wonderful partnership between himself and Ahsan.
আমাদের এখানে এখন 1-4 দ্বারা বলতেছে 155.
55,
Yes.
16
So no, 155 runs. So 16.3 ball. 16, 16, 1-6. আচ্ছা কিন্তু এখানে ক্যাচ আপ হয় না তো ওয়েবসাইটে তাহলে আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে ওকে ওখানে আচ্ছা ওখানে ঠিক থাকলে ঠিক আছে কিন্তু ওইটা ওয়েবসাইটে ক্যাচ আপ হয় না যে কোনো কারণে ওয়েবসাইটে মিস হয়ে গেছে ওকে অলরাইট না ওকে is the website slow they are correct score they got the correct website slow
Okay,
down.
is disconnected or something?
Something
Or
happened
trying to
they got the correct score
Okay,
they match all these totals.
okay. Who's the new batsman?
Gibran.
Gibran has come to the middle after the wicket of Koi. Played a wonderful knock. Koi made 32, 39, I beg your pardon. Wonderful partnership with Essen. And Atlanta Fire are in complete control at this stage. As Essen has once again played it with soft hand for a run onto the offside. We're into the 17th over, and I think
One white ball one not no
now, having spent all that time in the middle, the Chicago Lions, they want to do it quickly and be off the park, but they can't because they haven't bowled their overs and they've still been on the field for an hour and 40 minutes where they should be an hour and 25 minutes. They should be bowling their overs and be off the park, but they have no one else but themselves to blame as another swing and a miss this time from Gibran. So 17 overs are gone, 156
Yes.
for 6. 156 for 6.
Say last three over, yeah, no, so that they will come to us.
156 for 6. 3 overs to go.
Yes. So they did it first.
Where's the cheer girls from yesterday?
Hmm?
They had cheer girls yesterday.
You fired all of them.
No, I said you don't hire cheer girls. You should hire a scorer.
No, we don't need a chair girl. We keep firing. Yeah.
You got me too to dance. So we're down to the last 3 overs. And it's Ali once again, I think, by the looks of it. He's going to bowl from the top end. Nice ramp once again. Good shot from Hassan. Playing with the field and had enough on it to go to the fence. Excellent batting from him. He's been a star with the bat today in this innings. Hassan finding the boundary at regular ease now. With, as I said, only 17 deliveries to go. He's looking to capitalize on his efforts and the tiring fielders of Chicago Lions, who just can't wait to get off the park. As another slow, loopy delivery, short and set up. Essen once again looking for two. I think if Gibran had gone for it, they would have got it. But Gibran, who also is a big striker of the ball, wanted to have some piece of the action himself. Went for the big hit off the inside edge. Running fast, Gibran, but this time Essen, I think it's a bit of a competition going on to hog the strike between the two. As Essen wanted the strike on that occasion, refused Gibran the second run. Essen is batting on 38. Full toss, hits it into the deep. Long off coming around, slight fumble would help Gibran come back for the second. Once again, urgent running from Essen as well. So it's been a wonderful knock, as I say, from him. Ably supported by Coy. And a breezy knock from Antoine earlier on in the day. It's another slow, loopy delivery, and it's been hit over the fence. It just had enough to go over the fence, and 6 runs to Essen, who's nearing his 50. That would be a wonderful half century to cap off a wonderful performance with the bat, and a recovery, a comeback from Atlanta Fire after they had lost 5 wickets inside the first 10 overs. 71 for 5 they were at the end of the ninth over. But good comeback by Essen. And as he squeezed this one away behind point, this won't go to the fence, but the running is still hard. He's still trying. Gibran coming back for the third runs. Terrific piece of running. Good heat from Atlanta Fire all the way through the innings. That's wonderful cricket. So after the end of 18 overs, the total is 173. Only 2 overs to go. 173. 173. 2 overs to go. 173 Atlanta Fire with the final 2 overs to go as Mansoor is coming back into the attack for his final over. Hassan is on strike. He's batting on. Now this two. He'll come over comfortably for the 2 runs, and that's his 50. A wonderful knock from Hassan. That's a terrific innings. When his team was in trouble, he came to the party, ran hard between the wickets, and when the opportunity came, he struck big hits as well. That was a wonderful knock from Hassan, and a well-deserved applause from his teammates. Big shot. He's looking for another run. Direct hit, and he's gone. Hassan, who was looking a bit tired, he gave up very quickly as he missed the ball, and Gibran refused the run. There never was a run. So he gave up and hoped that the direct hit wouldn't happen, but that wasn't the case on that occasion. Chicago Lions needed that wicket to put the brakes on scorings from Hassan to causing further damage, but wasn't to be. Hassan has disappeared now into the hutch for 51, a wonderful knock, and Atlanta Fire are 174 for 6. 75, right?
75.
You see that one test is not as loud as it used to be.
Dyer.
Who's the batsman?
Dyer.
Dyer. The tall figure of Dyer has made it to the middle.
You
He
should be proud, right? Not quite, because they could have scored. They could have scored more runs. Middle order was very good. Yeah, middle order was good, but India Super Level they was yesterday was sluggish. They scored only 6 before. Not like Coils, all others.
good delivery by Mansoor. First up to Dyer. It was right in the block hole. This game has changed quite quickly. When Mansoor was bowling his first spell, his team was right on top with good disciplines and wickets falling at regular interval. But that partnership between Hassan and Coy has killed the life out of this Chicago Lions fight as they're eagerly awaiting the end of the innings. Dyer is off the mark with that single. 176 now, which is a very, very formidable total under any conditions, but particularly in these conditions where this is a huge hit.
It's gone.
Gibran backpedaling, but a superb catch.
Superb catch. Good catch.
That is an excellent effort in the deep. Very good connection from Gibran, but backpedaling, the fielder got it with both hands. Never looked like dropping it. That's the kind of effort that can lift a team in these situations. So Gibran is making the long walk back. He perished in the cause. The total is 176 for 7 now, with only 7 deliveries to go. Did you catch him? Caught him on camera? Did you catch him? Dyer was looking for a big heave off the inside edge as he'd been on strike after Gibran was caught in the deep. So with that single, he's going to keep the strike. 177 for 8 in 19 overs. 177 for 8. Last over. This is the highest score of the tournament. Yeah, this is the highest score. They're not good, man. I'm sorry. Cricketer is known by ethics. How much he understands ethics. Very few people can play good, but at least
Who's the bowler now?
Roger Ravi.
Rajarev already finished.
Oh. The final over of the innings, a big blow from Dyer. Just one bounce to the sweeper at deep mid wicket. Salam is the bowler to finish off the things for Chicago Lions, who have gone for almost 100 runs in the last 9 overs. Slow delivery, looking for a run, but made it back in time. Ridwan Palash batting at number 10. He's quite a decent bat himself, but in the team scores, he's been batting at number 10. Such is the strength of the and depth in the Atlanta Fire batting lineup. 4 deliveries to go now. Palash very elegantly playing this away from the fielder at backward point. As I've told you just before this ball, Palash is a decent bat himself. He showed it on that ball. He just waited for it, used the pace of the bowler. 2 very elegant runs for him. That moves the total to 180 now. 3 deliveries to go. Yorker length. Palash looking for one once again. Direct hit. Would have had him, but a very tame underarm flick. Didn't do the job for the Lions. The big hitting Dyer. I beg your pardon. Evro is back on strike. It's Dyer is looking to cross over for the bye. And an overthrow. And that's comedy of errors. Down the hill, it's gone, well, pretty close to the fence, but stopped by the fielder. So what should be a dot ball has ended up being 2 runs to the Atlanta Fire's total. The wicket keeper threw the ball in anger at the non-striker's end, but missed all 3 stumps. He had all 3 of them to aim for, but never got close to them. That's the perks of club cricket towards the end of the innings. A tied team, as Dyer has got hold of that one, and that's landed about 20 yards over the fence. Rubbed salt to the wound, and that has brought the innings to an end for 188 runs. 189 to be exact. 190 will be the target for the Chicago Lions. But looking at their effort in the field in the second half, they look very depleted, and I'll be very surprised if they were able to put up a very good fight. But we'll have to wait and see as the players walk off. This entire innings has took 2 hours and 5 minutes to bowl the 20 overs. That's very, very slow going, and Chicago Lions will have to blame themselves for that, because They should never have spent about more than an hour and a half on the field, and that extra baggage will hurt their run chase as well, in my opinion. But we'll have to wait and see. Wonderful innings from Essen and supported well by Coy. Essen made 51, Coy made 39. They were the standout performers for Atlanta Fire, who made 189. And as the players change over for the innings, we'll take a short break here as well. We'll be back with the run chase in a few minutes, so keep watching, and we'll be right back.
We started at 3 times sluggish. They give the game back to Atlanta.
And when the gloves gone, everything's ready. The bowler here, he tells it, hey, move this way. After 10 minutes, when everyone was on that position, he said, move this way. You gotta teach people some cricket ethics, man. This is cricket ethics. Penalty, runs. That's the only way. Game on Sunday starts at 10 o'clock. out of there's 3 games left in the championship that we're gonna do. So if they're playing tomorrow, they reach to the final. So 2 games at least we will have them. So we will have good help. And 1 game I don't know who will play. Halim bhai,
Yeah.
आ जाएं.
Did I get lost? I need normal water, not cold water. That's why I had to walk down.
We got Atlanta Fire covered umpires. We got a regular scorer here, so we've got them covered. Just need to know the batter's name when we do need them. ये टेलर है कैप्टन है इसके डांस चेक किया check his dance. So who's gonna tell us the batsman name?
They should say 19. Abdul Salam maybe on the non-striker, I believe. Probably Ravi. No, no, not Ravi. Somebody else.
It's all black and white.
It's okay, it looks better. Hello and a very warm welcome once again to the run chase as Atlanta Fire is looking to defend 190. Dyer from the top end.
No,
Is
Harsh.
beg your pardon, it was Hirsch.
How did you say?
He's a very impressive left arm seamer. It's a very consistent performance at this level. This one is straying down the leg side. Wide delivery. As I said, 190 is the target for the Chicago Lions. Batsman on strike is Karan, and his partner on the other end is Abdul Salam.
Probably Abdul Salam.
Yeah, Abdul Salam is at non-striker end. So good delivery from Hirsch coming back into the right-hander, looking to cut. Cramped for space out there. Hirsch does have the ability to bring the ball back into the right-hander. Left arm over the wicket angle. Formidable bowling lineup. Karan, number 1. Big swing from Karan. Wrapped him high on the pads, hence no appeal. And as I said, Hirsch is very impressive. He's very consistent in his line and length. At this standard, he's a very consistent performer. I think in one of the earlier games he did take 5 wickets. So it's a thick cloud cover now. It's no sunshine. And there's absolute no wind here. Pretty humid. As Hirsch digs in D, short, and the, the batsman looking around. The umpires have made their call, so there's no reason to ask any questions from the umpires. It was very clear and evident that they signaled one for the over, but didn't deem it over the head high for a wide. Knocked him over, middle stump out of the ground as Hirsch has bowled a full delivery swinging, and the batsman was swinging hard at it but had no clue whatsoever as the leg stump has been pegged back out of the ground. What a sight for a fast bowler. And Hirsch has got the Atlanta Fire the first breakthrough. And Chicago Lions, as I said before this inning started, the second half of their fielding was under immense pressure and their body language wasn't suggesting anything positive. So this run chase Looks a very, very hard task for them, and it hasn't begun with any ease.
Swinging here. Very good swinging here. Boom. Very good swinging here. Came in and boom on the middle and left stump pitch and right on the ball. And for this tournament, it was Clayton Lambert, former West Indian Test player.
Clayton Lambert. He played
West
for West Indies in the
Test.
90s.
No, when the big name is to play.
Richardson. He came to Pakistan, I know.
Yeah.
Captain was Vivian Richards. He played. Desmond Haynes, Gordon Greenwich.
He's a slow left-arm bowler, bowling all-rounder.
Lambert was middle order batsman, batting all round. One wicket has gone down, and we're still waiting for the next batsman to come to the middle. Took him a long, long time. We had some locals in the crowd, and I was just explaining to them in the break what were the modes of the dismissal, and I forgot to tell him that one mode was timed out. And this Chicago Lions batsman almost got himself timed out because he never stepped into the field of play after a long, long time after Curran's dismissal. So, making everybody wait, Chicago Lions, as they did whilst they were in the field. Another swinging in delivery, nicely negotiated. Fielding was sharp as well. And that's the end of the first over from Hirsch. 1 for 1, Chicago Lions chasing 190. Now they're hitting me. They've already hit you all day. They're coming.
You're going to the fence inside.
Yeah.
I didn't wear any. They were biting.
In the morning, they're standing here and he goes, "Ooh!" The other one goes, "Ooh!"
All one.
Yeah, one, 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 one. Is it Taylor who's going to take up the attack? It's Babwa. Shazam Babwa is once again a very, very familiar name on this circuit. He's very experienced and he's been part of many winning teams in his career. His right arm over the wicket. He's trying to go over the top, back paddling. Harsh was there, it just went over his head. Couple of runs for Abdul Salam. The batsman batting at number 3 is Avas. He owes his team some runs because he went for almost 40 runs in his 2 overs. I think 38 to be exact. But he's at the non-striker end as Babwa. Normally bowls with the new ball wherever he plays. He gets that ball to drift away from the right-hander. That's his stock ball. Doesn't have a big turning off break. Not that it would turn on this pitch anyway, but he uses the away drift to good effect for the right-handers. That's why he's got Stephen Taylor placed in slip. There you go. That's the ball that I was talking about. Went past the outside edge. Antoine is behind the stumps. He's also a very good keeper. This time it's full pitch, helped on its way by Abdul Salam. Helped himself to a couple of runs. Loose delivery from Babwa. Abdul Salam could have hit it anywhere. He just chose to place it for a couple of runs. Another quicker delivery, this time back on target, Babwa. 6 for 1. 5 of the first over from Babwa so far. One delivery to go. Straight thump through the covers. Fielder will haul it back. It's Hirsch. Slight fumble allows the batsman to go through for the second run. So that will end the second over. 8 for 1. He's coming again to say 8 for 1 after 2 overs. What happened, man? There was not much food today. I don't know what you feel in your tummy.
Boy, grab it. Boy, grab it. Jump.
Koi is a tall man. Hirsch once again from the top end. Having cleaned up Curran in the first over. Slow delivery off the inside edge, just past the leg stump. Single added to Abdul Salam. Wes. Or is it? Salam. It's Wes on strike. As I said, he owes his team some runs after an expensive bowling spell earlier. Went for plenty in 2 overs. Nice looking stroke straight to Koi. Direct hit would have been interested, but it went way over the stumps. Slight confusion between the two batsmen, but in the end, safely negotiated into the double figures now. Chicago Lions. Remember, this game is only of consequence to finish to a certain which teams will finish number 1 and 2 in this group, as both of them have won their games and have qualified for the semi-finals. Her short delivery is smashed. He looks in pain. I think it's is it Asen? Asen who batted beautifully. This one was struck fearsome blow, and he dropped the catch and substitute has come into the field once again. Quick turnover this time as all in readiness. West on 5 faces up to Hirsch. He's lifted it over cover. That will bounce and stop inside the fence. Good effort by Zain on that occasion. Chased the ball down. Couple of runs for West. Was a handsome looking stroke. Slow delivery from Hirsch to finish off the third over. It's 13 for 1 after 3. 13 for 1 after 3 overs.
ఈడ పోసి చూసిన ఇందాక ఒకటి పోస్తున్నాడు ఆడ ఆ గోడకి ఇందాక వీళ్ళు ఎవరో పోస్తా ప్లేయర్స్.
Babwa starts off, this time right arm around the wicket, looking for that full delivery to get the drift. But Awais and Abdul Salam, their job is cut out. This one angling across the right hander, beat the outside edge. Head into the open spaces on the onside. Just a single. Fielding has been good so far from Atlanta Fire. They have the advantage that they batted first, so they've sussed the conditions very well. They know how to adjust the boundary riders and the fielders in the infield. As once again a Yorker length delivery from Babwa, giving no chance whatsoever to the batsman to get underneath and go for a big hit. 7 of 10 Avas has got so far. This time length delivery clipped onto the onside towards the fine leg fence, but couple runs to Avas. Babwa is starting that ball on the pads of the batsman and hoping for that drift on every ball. But when it doesn't drift, it's kind of a free hit for the batsman. But what he does well is varies his length and keep the batsman guessing. Very, very experienced Babwa. As this one, he went for the full Yorker in the air, just away from the fielder. And good bit of fielding to restrict the scoring to just a single. Atlanta Fire are going through their overs relatively quickly. 4 gone now, 17 for 1. 17 for 1 after 4 overs. I said 17, right? How many runs they made? Umpire should stop him here, in my opinion. See Dyer from the far end. It looks like he's going to take up the attack. It's not going to get any easier on the bowling crease for Chicago Lions, so they have to step up the game. As it was lucky for Avas, just chopped that ball on, and it bounced over the stumps. As I said, Chicago Lions' job is not going to be made easy by any slack bowling on the part of Atlanta Fire. They have to up their game, look for areas to score some runs, and put up a brave fight, which against a target which is very, very stiff. Dyer is quick but misdirected onto the pads of West. We got to wait for the umpire signal. Nothing coming, so that should be a run for West. Dyer bowling from the top end, running up the hill. He's a tall lad, strongly built. You can see the wicketkeeper standing well back, Antoine, and Taylor in first slip is way back as well. Nasty delivery, climbing, and the Salam got wrapped on the gloves, I think. I've mentioned earlier, it's not going to get easier for Chicago Lions. The good bowlers will keep coming at them, and their task is not very easy in this fading light as we see the thick cloud cover. Have to be seen how they put up against this attack. This short delivery once again climbing. Vicious bounce from Dyer. He's got Salam climbing, hit the shoulder of the bat, but luckily no one close to the bat. And safety first right now for Salam, let alone chasing the mammoth 190. This is exciting stuff. Every time you see a fast bowler, a genuine fast bowler, makes the pulses racing. Dyer this time once again off a length, climbing once again as Salam swings at it blindly, way too away from the ball. And clearly shows that Abdul Salam at the moment is on the back foot. Doesn't seem to have a game plan against Dyer. Unless Dyer slips up from his standards, it'll be very hard for Abdul Salam to get him away. This one was on the stumps and one run. So Salam has managed to get himself off strike against Dyer. He moves to 8 and the lines are 19 for 1 as Dyer's very impressive over has come to an end. 5 gone, 19 for 1.
What is the score over here?
19.
That could be. I was counting. These are, all these say 19. One I say something.
Babwa continues his bowling. He's going to bowl through the power play as he normally does. Still got Taylor in slip. He's got a long on and a deep mid wicket. This is a strong blow just over the head of the long off fielder as he was jumping, but that ball has pulled up short again. Strong shot, but just over the head. I think he got fingertips to it. But good intent from the batsman because 22 now. Flicks is off his pads as it was a quicker delivery from Babwa. And that crosses over the fence. The outfield quicking up slightly as four's been signaled. So 26 for 1. Avas moves to 15. Abdus Salam is batting on 10. Bit of a partnership after the loss of first wicket in the very first over to Harsh. Baba on that occasion tried the quicker one, but it was on the pad and clipped beautifully. Once again, similar looking shot, and this may cross the fence as well. Back to back boundaries. This is a good counter punch from Chicago Lions, and Avas is showing his intentions clearly, taking Babwa on. He moves to 19 now and is 30 for 1. Babwa has decided to come over the wicket now. Change of angle. Slip is coming out as well. In the air, away from the long on fielder who has to cover some ground to get there. Does it well, Hirsch. Just a single this time for West. He moves into 20s now. He's 20 and the total is 31 for 1. Another full toss, a drop chance. This time it was a firm blow down the ground, but Babwa probably wasn't expecting. It was a full toss, as I said. A Salam could have hit it anywhere, and Babwa wasn't anticipating that. That's why I couldn't get hold of it. So little bit of indiscipline creeping in into Atlanta Fire, or you could see some of the players, the body language is that they're looking a bit relaxed. Taylor at backward at short fine leg is one of them. As Babwa finishes off with a dot. 6 gone, 32 for 1. 32 for 1 after 6 overs. Oh, he has? Vinod? Is split? Is split or he.
Be careful, there's too much flies.
Dyer started off with another short pitch delivery, a square to long off and taken easily. So Salam has lost his wicket. 32 for 2 now, Chicago Lions. Wasn't easy against the pace of Dyer. He tried, but couldn't clear the mid-off fielder. And he has to take the long walk back. So after 6.1, the Lions are now 32 for 2.
Yeah, so that's why I got near him, but still he went again. Out.
The batsman crossed whilst that ball was in the air. So Avas is on strike. He has to face the heat of Dyer. Off the edge, it may carry for six. Yes, it does. That's all the pace from Dyer. And Avas was slashing hard. That's the old saying, as they say, when you do slash, slash it hard. Carried over the fence. Never got about 4 or 5 feet above the ground. But hit the tree on the full. That was an amazing stroke. That was astonishing. But that could tell how pacey Dyer is. As Taylor in the slips has moved back, so has the wicketkeeper. Another short lifting delivery. Got Avas hopping, but he got himself a single, so new man on strike is Ikram. 39 for 2, the lines. Ikram, let's see if he's got the technique and the ticker to handle Dyer. Big Dyer has got a man in gully catching. Taylor's coming to gully. Babu is in slip. Went for the hook shot. Brave shot. And Dyer is digging the ball short, testing the mettle of the batsman. But on that occasion, Ikram was good enough, got into position early enough. Didn't quite time because the ball got big on him, but he looked good enough to cope against the pace of Dyer. But we got Avas back on strike, who's batting on 27. Dyer is getting a bit too predictable. A glorious cut shot from Avas, but unfortunately straight to the fielder. As for a long, long time, after a long, long time, we got some sunshine. Very pleasant evening sunshine here at the Lincoln Park in Milwaukee. Dyer has got one delivery left in his second over. Beautiful back foot punch as Dyer fields off his own bowling. Shows some aggression. There's nothing wrong with that. 7 gone, 40 for 2. 40 for 2 after 7 overs.
Who's your captain? Baba. Where is number 99? Okay, okay. He bowls spin bowling, right?
Yeah. Bowling change now. Coy is coming into the attack from the commentary box end as the DJ is pumping up the music. Left arm spin of Coy. He contributed immensely with the bat in hand earlier. Nice loopy delivery, but a slog sweep, and it will cross the fence. That's a good hit from Avas. As I said, he owes his team some runs, and he's trying his best. He moves to 27. This was Ikram, I beg your pardon. He moves to 5. That was his first boundary. And you could see over the couple of days of cricket, we could gradually see the outfield getting quicker at some parts of the ground, especially towards our right, where there's slight downhill, and down towards the side screen at the top end of the ground, where there's a big steep downhill as well. So there's the two areas the batsmen are capitalizing, getting some boundary hits. As this one has been cut through in the opposite direction, that's where still the ball gets holed up in the grass, thick grass, and just a single for a very good shot for Ikram. He's moved to 6 now. Shot up and over. It's going to carry to the sweeper, and it does. Easy catch, and Wes's knock has come to an end. Koi has broken through. He's got the wicket of Wes, who made 27, and the Chicago Lions have lost their third wicket. They are 45 for 3. So far the best, right? I came with them in the when I traveled from Atlanta as well. So I'm a bit biased now. This is my team. I commentated in T10 in Atlanta, and then we went to right that championship T10. No, Alim Bhai don't like dalda. He don't like cholesterol. You know, I told him in Pakistan when we do scoring, so the teams do scoring themselves. So they, if the team is not doing well, they say, hey, add some dalda. He's add some sugar. And they make. So he says, Alim Bhai can make some dalda. I said, we have the new man in the middle. That ball went quite far, but they haven't crossed yet, so the new batter will have to take the strike. Ikram is still on non-striker end. We're into the 8th over, and Koi, after his splendid knock, has got a wicket to his name as well already. Into his first over, only 4 deliveries. Batsman name, umpire? Athar, he said, or Akhtar. 2 deliveries to go for Koi. A dot ball. Koi's got a nice bouncy action, and he's not a tall man, but he tries to deliver ball from right over the top of his bounce. Nice loop in the air. It will fall between the two fielders. Sweeper cover gathers, and with a strong return as well. Surprised himself. That ends the 8th over now. 46 for 3 after 8. 46 for 3 after 8 overs. Um, There's a bowling change from the top hand. It is Gibran. Once again, he will have to come up the hill. The good delivery from Gibran. He has a hint of bowling off the wrong foot. Similar to the famous old South African all-rounder, Mike Proctor. Very interesting bowling action. We'll have to have another look at that as well. He's getting ready as Babwa is moving himself into slips. The quality of bowling from the Atlanta Fire has been exceptional. They've gone for 46 runs, but they're defending a mammoth total. Terrific delivery. Still climbing when it gets to the keeper. Gibran, very, very good delivery of a length, and that is really climbing. Superb delivery. Hassan on strike is looking shell-shocked at the moment. He has to come up with a game plan, not only to survive, but to score some runs. This is short, width on offer. Flashing blade, excellent stroke. That has just pulled up inside the fence, and sluggish running, I think, because they only had 2 runs. Good ground coverage by Coy once again. Gibran looks quite pacey once again. Very economical and rhythmic approach to the wicket. We're watching Antoine. He's moved almost like back to the 30-yard circle. And the slip, Babwa, is about 5 or 7 yards even behind him. That tells you that how much pace Gibran is generating as he loses his run up the hill on that occasion. We put some walkers on him. But the bowling lineup, as I've been saying for Atlanta Fire, got it all bases covered. Babwa with the spin. We haven't seen Taylor yet with his off spin. Probably not needed at this stage. Gibran loses his run but delivers a perfect delivery on the length. A slashing blade, an outside edge, and Antoine safe as houses on that occasion. Yet another breakthrough. And Atlanta Fire are actually on fire here at the Lincoln Park. Chicago Lions struggling 48 for 4 in the ninth over. 48 for 4. 48 for 4. You have to keep the time, umpire. 48 for 4 after 8.4. Babwa is still keeping the slip with impressive pace battery of Dyer, Hirsch, and Gibran now to go with the spin twins of Babwa and Coy. It's still Taylor waiting in the wing for his turn. Short delivery in the air, but away from the fielder at point. Slight fumble by Hirsch. Couple of runs has brought up the 50 for Chicago Lions. 50 after 8.4 overs. Wajahat is the new batsman, but he's still at the non. He's at the striker end. I beg your pardon. He got his innings going with a couple of runs. Once again, flashes outside the off stump of the bottom of the bat, but just for a single. So that's the end of the ninth over. 51 for 4. 51 for 4 after 9 overs.
क्रिकेट the batsman name it
Wajahat.
Wajahat.
Koi is ready, and he will be bowling to Ikram. It's Wajahat, I beg your pardon. Once again, smashes it over the infield, but just for one run into the deep. He moves to 4 now. Ikram, who has been off strike for a while, finally comes back on strike. He's batting on 6. Ikram is sized up Koi and smashed him over the deep mid-wicket fence. He's actually hit the tree and come back into the field of play. But that is a 6, a meaty blow. Ikram, who had already hit Koi for a boundary, this time got one better and hit the maximum. Needs plenty more of that to challenge the target set by Atlanta Fire, but he's trying. Now the big hit off the edge, appealing, but umpire has just shook his head. There was a noise, but probably hit his bat with his pad. Umpire made another good call on that occasion. Short from Koi, played beautifully by Kram, and good piece of fielding as well. So good cricket all round. 59 for 4. Wajahat batting on 4. He's on strike now. Another short delivery from Koi. This over, he's been guilty of bowling too short, but lucky to get away without too much damage after the 6 from Ikram. With one delivery to go, Ikram is back on strike. This time he finds the fielder in cover, so Koi finishes off with a dot at the halfway stage. 60 for 4, Chicago Lions. The Lions 60 for 4 after 10 overs. Gibran is ready at the top of his mark. It's also one visible difference you can see with Atlanta Fire players. They're ready and waiting all the time with the fielders taking up their positions, trying to move the game quickly. Has a chance of a run out at the non-striker end, but well judged in the end by Ikram. 61 now for 4, and another 129 runs needed in the remaining 9.5 overs. Very improbable by the looks of it. Something has to go drastically wrong for Atlanta Fire, for Chicago Lions to be having a chance, but this one is hit way over. Sweet connection, but fell just inside the rope for a boundary. As I was saying, that something needs to go drastically wrong for Atlanta Fire. The other thing could be some miraculous batting by Akram, and Wajahat can also cause the seemingly upturn of fortunes for Chicago Lions. You have to give it to Ikram. He's trying. He's already hit 2 boundaries and a 6. Gibran is getting a bit predictable with his fuller length. Once again loses his run. He's struggling up the hill. Even in the last over, a couple of times he had to pull back, and a couple of times he still went through and delivered the ball after losing his run. But on that occasion, he decided that he couldn't control this anymore, so he just stopped. Done the right thing, as I said. They're moving the game quite quicker as compared to the other teams, so good stop of his own bowling. Firm drive on that occasion from Ikram. He looks a very decent batsman. He's handled himself under severe pressure, and in the face of some hostile bowling, he's done well. 17 he's got. The short fine leg fielder has been brought up and up in the ring, and the mid-off has dropped back. Short delivery, nicely weighted. Hirsch is coming around from third man. Restrict the scoring to 1. Good ground coverage. Had to cover about 15-20 yards to his right. Being a natural left-hander, he's done it well. Ikram moves to 18. Wajahat is on strike now. He's batting on 4. Full pitch delivery from Gibran. Could see that the Atlanta Fire fielders, they don't mind singles at this stage of the innings because they've got things well under control. The bowling has generally been very good, and fielding has backed them up. A couple of hard chances went down, but that's the nature of this game. 67 for 4. The dangerous Ikram is back on strike as he's pushed this one into the gap for a single, and he'll keep the bowling as Gibran finishes off yet another over. 11 gone. 68 for 4. 68 for 4 after 11 overs. Bowling change from the commentary box end. As we watch the first delivery, Wajahat gets himself a single, brings the dangerous Ikram back on strike. Actually, it was Ikram who got that run, I think, because he scored a single on the last ball of the last over. So Ikram moves to 20. It's 69 for 4. Nice flighted delivery. Ridwan Palash, orthodox off break. Just looking to get some overs under his belt. Smash down the ground. Once again, Harsh in action. Once again, trying to pick up one-handed pickup. Not very clever to do on this kind of outfield. Once again, gives away another run. 71 for 4. The batsmen weren't even trying for the second run, but and that gives the opportunity for Wajahat to smash Redwan Palash over the fence and over the trees as well on that occasion. Magnificent hit. Down on one knee, and the connection was sweet. The timing was excellent. 6 runs. Very, very good blow. And as I said, they need plenty more of that, but they're trying. Good spirited partnership between Wajahat and Ikram as another single is added to the total. Wajahat moves to 15 now of just 9 deliveries. 78 for 4, one ball shy of the 12th over. And the glorious cover drive all along the ground. Will only get one for that. So 79 for 4 after 12 overs. 79 for 4 after 12 overs.
My son watching live. What he says.
Well, the team is getting sloppy now, taking foot off the. Because they think they've won it already. 79 for 4. As there's another bowling change from the top end. Uh, Looks like Stephen Taylor coming in to bowl. Atlanta Fire having dominated that game after the second half of their batting innings. They have never looked back. You could see a hint in the body language that possibly taking the foot off the paddle, thinking that they've won the game already. 111 runs needed of just 8 overs. You won't blame them for that, but cricket is a funny game. But we can safely say on that one that they've got this one under control. Lions 4 wicket down. They're still making an effort as Taylor starts off with a dot. As Ikram went for the cut shot. And as we've seen, there's plenty of bounce, and he played under the ball. This time he decides to go for the slog onto the onside, and the sweeper will get in. Just a 1 run. Taylor is a wily campaigner. He's the skipper of the national team of USA. Bowls regularly for the Team USA in their international games, both in T20s and 50 over format as well. It's disappointing earlier in the day with the bat, Stephen Taylor. But I think he's saved his best till last when the championship heats up tomorrow with the knockout stage starting off 10 o'clock in the morning here at Lincoln Park. Of the Q end of the bat once again. Not going too far, just good for a single though. That's one thing with Taylor. He's gone through his over very quickly. 5 deliveries gone already. Finishes off with a Yorker. And that's 13 gone. 84, 82 for 4. 82 for 4 after 13 overs.
Three bowler goals, that's right, because
Harsh, Dyer,
spinning,
and Gibran.
spinning is controlling the runs a little bit
They
going
have
back.
one very fast bowler. He's not very tall. Mitu? Very good.
He also holds it.
He's
No.
not playing today. He's not in
So
the thing.
Salman is not playing.
Salman.
He's not playing T20.
Three fast bowlers.
Three fast bowlers.
Harsh, Dyer,
Gibran.
and Gibran. Harsh, the left arm, who got the first wicket.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's okay.
He's like medium pace but swing. But Gibran and Dyer are quick. Koi getting ready for yet another over. 7 overs to go. 108 is the requirement for Chicago Lions. You can safely say that it's with each passing delivery, it's getting more and more impossible for them as this one is skewed out of the outside edge. But for single, as Babwa came around quickly and prevented extra runs. Atlanta Fire has shown their all-round strength today. They've been good with the bat, excellent with the ball. As Koi has been smashed straight into the side screen. Wonderful blow. Terrific timing on that one. I say this is a good partnership between Wajahat and Ikram. Wajahat moves to 21. And Koi is flighting the ball generously. But every time he gets in the arc of the batsman, Wajahat has been able to give him the charge as this one's in the air. And catch has been taken. I think it's Dyer out there off the top edge, just behind the wicket keeper. He ran around and got a neat catch to dismiss Wajahat, who was looking to hit big. So 87 for 5 now. The Chicago Lions. Spirited effort from Wajahat has come to an end. He's walking back for 21 and 87 for 4. How many banana you eat in one day? See? No, this is sixth or seventh one. I'd lost count.
Yeah,
So
banana man.
He's a banana. He eats everything. He's like he's foodie.
That's good.
me too. Me
If
too.
you can eat and burn, that's the way to go.
See,
Eat and burn.
see his belly.
No, I agree with the first part.
No, eat and burn.
He doesn't burn.
He, oh, no, why did not agree? Look at this. Look at his body. He said, that's why I don't agree with the second part. I agree with the first part.
Koi has got himself another wicket, following up with a splendid knock as well. So he's got 2 wickets. Half the side for Chicago Lion is back in the hut with another 103 runs required with not much time left. 2 for 20, Coy's figures. He's ready once again as direct hit would be interesting. Big shot there, but the umpire shakes the head. Ikram was struggling, in my opinion, but umpire was in the best possible position to make the call. So Rizwan has off the mark with the single. 88 now for 5. Strong shot from Ikram. Slight fumble allows him to take a single. As I was saying earlier before the dismissal of Wajahat, that Atlanta Fire has been magnificent with the bat and excellent with the ball. The only part that they can think they should improve on would be their fielding. As this one is thumped down the ground once again towards Hirsch. He's been kept busy at long on. 14 gone, 90 for 5, Chicago Lions. 90 for 5 after 14 overs. 100 runs needed in 6 overs. Kill their hopes. Thank you. Steven Taylor getting ready. He's got Rizwan in his sights. Just came to the crease after the dismissal of Wajahat. Taylor, one thing as we mentioned in the last over as well, he will go through his overs very quickly, not giving too much time to the batsman. As you see, he's before everyone gets back to the position, he was ready as this one is in the air. Simplest of catches at long on, and Rizwan perishes. So another wicket to Taylor, and Rizwan, who's trying to go big against the US captain, couldn't get hold of him and was pouched easily at long on. So 90 for 6 now, Chicago Lions, as Rizwan takes the long walk back. New man in is New man is in the middle. Got to confirm who he is in a minute, but Taylor is already ready, waiting for him. He surveys the field. There's the difference between somebody who's played the top level cricket. They know how important it is to get on with things in the middle and do not spend any extra time that you don't need to spend in the middle, as Taylor's been carted away from behind square on the offside for a single. All the young cricketers who play club cricket, if they're watching, they have to watch Taylor and how he goes about his business. Before the ball gets to him, he's up on his mark and ready. Field has been meticulously set at the beginning of the over, unless something drastically changes, as we watch another cover drive just for a single. Just makes it look so simple. It ain't a rocket science. He just gets hold of the ball and gets ready to bowl. Flighted delivery straight back to him. Taylor completes his over within 2 minutes. As this one is trying to late cut. Batsman misses. Over bowled. 15 gone. 92 for 6. Chicago Lions 92 for 6 after 15 overs so far. Okay, that's good. Well, yeah, hour and 15 overs normally 1 hour, but 1 hour 10 is acceptable. Does no? As Atlanta Fire are ready to bowl, two batsmen have just finished their mid-wicket conference. Hassan? Hassan K. Change in the bowling attack from the pavilion end as the first delivery has been smeared to the onside of the inside edge. Couple of runs to Ikram. He moves to 28. Hassan is the bowler who scored a wonderful half century earlier in the day. He and Koi was responsible for that terrific comeback and the fight back after they were down for 70 for 5 inside 9 overs, I think. This one's in the air. Another catch. And another wicket fall. So Hassan got himself onto the score sheet as well. After a 50, he's got a wicket as well. And the Chicago Lions innings is capitulating. 94 for 7 now. Now they're in a hurry. They want to go home. That's good.
Ikram out, right?
Hmm?
Ikram out.
Ikram out. Was it? Yeah, Ikram out. Check the bowlers who hasn't played. One of them coming, I think. The music is pumping here at the Lincoln Park in Milwaukee, and the National Cricket League in full flight. We're coming to the end of the second day, and in fact, we're coming to the end of the group stages as well. This group has been sorted pretty early. These two teams have already qualified for the semi-finals, so we'll have another look at them tomorrow as we watch Aston continue bowling. And there was a chance at the batting end, the striker's end, but nothing doing in the end. So 1 run to the total, 95 for 7. Mansoor is the new batsman. Bowled quite well earlier, but the task with the bat in hand is monumental. The academics to follow now with 7 wickets down and just 27 deliveries to go. Mansoor and Hassan would try their best not to give any wickets to Atlanta Fire and get their team bowled out. Hassan is ready, but Hassan is not ready. Loopy delivery outside the off stump. Straight to the fielder at backward point. No run added to the total. 95 for 7. Chicago Lions. They let it slip after controlling the game in the early part of the innings in the first innings. There's another swing and a miss, but this time the umpire calls it a wide. 96 for 7. They had Atlanta Fire down at 70 for 5 at one stage inside 9 overs. But then that partnership between Hassan and Koi took the game away. 190 was always going to be difficult, especially against the quality bowling lineup of Atlanta Fire. As another misunderstanding, chance at the bowler's end, easy run out. And this innings is nose diving pretty quickly as Mansoor is not happy, but he has to go back. 96 for 8 Atlanta Fire, 16 overs. We're into the 16th over, and they're in real danger of getting bowled out. Mansoor walks back, and Chicago are struggling at 96 for 8. Manish is the new batsman, taking guard as Taylor is ready into his third over. Goes through his overs very quickly. Just 4 overs to go. Another 94 runs needed. As I said, it's pretty academic at this stage. But as we've been telling you before, both these teams have already qualified for the semi-finals from this group. And it looks like Atlanta Fire will finish the top of the group as a big shot from Taylor. Umpire's thinking, but shakes his head. Taylor's on his knees, pleading to the umpire, but not out from Vijay Mallela. Very experienced umpire and very well respected around the circuit in the USA. Taylor, after having a disappointing day with the bat, looking to get on the scorecard with a wicket or two here. Loopy delivery outside the off stump, but wide called. Chicago Lions getting closer to that magical three figures mark. Still a psychological boost. As Taylor once again another loopy delivery into the gap. Call is for two as the ball pulls up short. Oh, that's sloppy, I think. It was easy two out there. One thing with this outfield is that the batsmen don't get full value for their strokes, so they have to run very hard between the wickets to make up for that. Something for the future games. There's another loopy delivery. This one turns actually. Hassan got himself in a tangle. Taylor goes through his overs pretty quickly, but the batsman's not ready as Taylor turned around and was about to bowl. Found out that the batsman had moved away. This time it is ready and quicker delivery from Taylor. Cloud cover as the afternoon wears into a very pleasant evening as this one's in the air and another catch taken, another wicket fall. So Taylor has got himself a wicket. He's on the score sheet. 98 for 7 Chicago Lions and 9 wickets down, and I think we'd have to wait for the last batsman. Both the batsmen looking at the dugout, but one batsman to come. So 98 for 9. Chicago Lions must be disappointed with their effort. But as we said, they have another chance tomorrow. We'll find out a little bit later about who. Thank you. Let's see. Rizwan bhai. Thank you. Why he came? Raja Ravi is the new batsman. Yeah. Now the flighted delivery from Taylor in the air, but away from reach of any fielder. 99 for 9 after 17 overs. Chicago Lions. 99 for 9 after 17 overs. Come on, man. Aston is back at the bowling crease now. He's got one wicket already. He would be probably a very strong candidate for the man of the match after his half century earlier. This one is in the air, into the gap, and it will bounce over the fence as Gibran tried his best. But, and that brings up the 100 run for Chicago Lions. Chicago Lions have reached 103 now in the 18th over. Hefty blow from Raja Ravi. Good to see them still fighting, as you've seen. As we say, they still got another chance tomorrow in the semi-finals, so could be an eye opener. This one's in the air once again. Gibran is in the action. Bounces just in front of him. Manish was the batsman who scored that boundary in a single. So he's moved to 7. Raja is on strike now. Raja, after spending 3 deliveries on the non-striker end, he finds something wrong with his pads and his gloves. Everybody waiting on Raja to get ready, as now he's ready and he's taking guard. As Raja played it nicely. Didn't look like a number 11 batsman. Nicely played into the covers. It's getting pretty dark in here at the Lincoln Park. The day is wore down. A cloud cover as well. But we're writing the final rights of this game as Raja got himself off the mark. He moves to 1 and 105 for 9. We're into the 18th over. Flighted delivery, tempting Manish to go for the big one, which he tried, but off the cue end of the bat, gets himself a single. With 1 ball to go in the 18th over, Hassan is in the mood to buy a wicket. He's prepared to give the ball plenty of air and tempt these tail-enders to play a big shot. This is quicker in the air, but it won't carry to the fielder. So Hassan's overs come to an end. 18 gone, 106 for 9. 106 for 9 after 18. Start of the 19th over. Taylor, couple of runs to Chicago Lions. They move to 108. The margin of defeat is been reduced with every ball, but the result is pretty much sealed already. Chicago Lions, they will finish second in this group, and they will have to take on the winner of the other group, whilst Atlanta Fire will top the group as Taylor is really flighting the ball high, tempting the batsman. Batsman resisting the temptation. Quicker one from Taylor. Hits him on the pad, looking for a leg by. Chance at the bowler's end, and that's the end of the game. Confusion between the two batsmen, and Taylor was in position, ready to take the throw, which was a good one. And the game has finally come to an end with Chicago Lions getting bowled out for 108. They lost this game by 81 runs. Atlanta Fire tops this group, and they will be facing the runner-up of the other group, and we'll have to wait for that. But tomorrow will be the semi-finals day. A very, very comprehensive victory from Atlanta Fire. They were the best team on the show since we've been watching since yesterday, and they are living up to their billing as the favorites of this tournament. They made 189 after a sluggish start and a middle order collapse. Koi and Hassan were the mainstay of the innings. Hassan got 51, Koi made 39, and once they had scored that many runs, there was never any doubt about the result in face of some impressive bowling from the Atlanta Fire bowlers, starting off with Hirsch and Dyer, Gibran, all chipped in. Babwa, the skipper, Koi came in and got a couple of wickets. One wicket for Hassan, who's a very strong contender for the man of the match as well. So that's all we have from here today from Lincoln Park. So with the news that Atlanta Fire has topped the group and they qualified as the winners of this group for the semi-finals. We'll be back tomorrow with the semi-finals and the championship game on Sunday as we look at the brief summary, the match summary. 190, Aston made 151, Coy 39, and Antoine 24. The bowling in phases was quite good from the Chicago Lions. Ahmed got 2 wickets, so did Salam. But the rest of the bowling and fielding was quite disappointing as when they came out to bat, they never had a partnership of any sort. There was a couple of contributions, but hardly enough. Taylor finished with 2 for 10, Thompson 2 for 23, and Harsh Desai 1 for 6. So that's the result. Atlanta Fire are the winners of this group, and they've qualified for the semi-finals along with Chicago Lions. We'll be back with a presentation in a short while, but for live ball-to-ball coverage, we'll be back tomorrow at 10 o'clock. So keep watching, stay tuned, and the presentation is up next. For me and from all of us here down at the Lincoln Park, we say good night to you and thank